Hi, my name is Aya, you're watching Aya Reads, and I'm here to do my July TBR. So, of course, I did not finish my June TBR, so I'm gonna roll the die and I'm gonna add an extra roll. By the way, I'm not gonna explain the rules in this video. If you go to my TBR playlist, then the first video will explain all the rules. July is interesting because I'm on vacation. Well, technically I'm on vacation. Anyway, I'm gonna be out of town for 2 weeks in July. I anticipate I will be reading, but there's a giant video. I'll probably film most of that on vacation. So we'll see if I finish my TBR. I'll tell you next month whether or not I'll punish myself if I don't finish my TBR. So this is my TBR game. It's Hitster, which means music or songs will pick my TBR. I don't know why my intro is all over the place. Last month I played the regular Hitster. This time I'm going to be playing the guilty pleasure Hitster. But as always, I have cards for each game in both boxes, so it doesn't really matter. So let's do the rolls first. Okay, 4 or 8. Okay, let's do 4 because of everything I just said. Also, I'm a bit washed out, I just realized. Also, I don't have a lot of time to film and I need to film another video after. So we're gonna do 4 plus 1, meaning my timeline will consist of 5 books. Or 5 cards, I mean. This will be the stack of cards. And we're gonna start the timeline with this one. Rainbow in the Sky. Oh yeah, I do know that. I want to be a rainbow in the sky, right? Is that what it's called? Okay. So for Rainbow in the Sky, I went for these lyrics. So apparently this is also a Dutch song, I did not realize. But anyway, the lyrics I went for is, I want to feel the sunshine after rain. We can reach out for the sky. No more rain and no more sorrow. For you, I'm the one that I could never be. So I went for Unsteady by Peyton Corinne, sorry. So this, I'm not sure for the last line, but for sure the other ones of, you know, Sunshine After Rain, No More Rain, No More Sorrow. I feel like it fits. So this book you follow Reese and Sadie. And this is a college romance, a college hockey romance. I believe this book is, okay, yeah, both of them have some terrible things that have happened. So for him, he took a brutal hit that left him with a concussion, and because of that, he's getting panic attacks. And she is fighting for custody for her brother, and basically she's just living day by day, and her goal every day is just getting through the next day because she has to focus on her semester, she's drowning in debt, and there's just a lot going on. And then one day she sees his panic attack. She sees him panicking, and then she helps him by making him listen to her music. This is their romance, but of course, like I said, both of them are struggling. Her for sure more. So she really doesn't have time for a boyfriend, and he is kind of obsessed with her. I know a lot of people really love this book, so I just know I will also probably love it. So I just cannot wait to read this one. Let's scan the first card. Of course I know this song. I think this is obviously after 1995. It is, I believe, Give Me a Reason or Just Give Me a Reason by Pink and something Bronson or something, Rob Bronson. I don't know. I don't think I'll get this card, but it's for sure after 1995. Okay. Just Give Me a Reason by Pink, Nate Russ. So, do I get that? Technically, you know what? I feel like since he is in parentheses, it doesn't count. So I guessed Just Give Me a Reason by Pink. So I'm gonna get one of these. So my rules, my game, my rules. For Just Give Me a Reason, I went for right from the start, you were a thief, you stole my heart, and I, your willing victim. I let you see the parts of me that weren't all that pretty. And with every touch, you fixed them. So I went for Deviant King by Rena Kent. So I really want to continue with Rena's backlist. And I know that, because I believe these are Killian's parents, or no. So we have seen Elsa and Aiden around. So I know eventually, I'm pretty sure he's gonna be the one that helps her with her demons. But for sure, the first part of these lyrics, of him being a thief and he stole her heart, I know for sure fits with this book, because this is basically like kind of like a bully romance. So this is the first book in their trilogy. So basically the tagline is the villain isn't supposed to be king. So her plan is to finish Royal Elite School and go to her dream university, but one glance from the school's king blows up my plan in smoke. One glance and he suffocates my heir. One glance and he issues his death sentence. I will destroy you. She should have remained quiet and endured the time she has left, but she didn't. I made the irrevocable mistake of provoking the king on his throne, the devil in his hell, and now I'll pay the price. Being hated by Aiden King is dangerous, but being wanted by him is lethal. So, I mean, in Rena Kent fashion, this is like the first book in her entire Rena universe. So I'm very excited to read this one. I have been wanting to read a bully romance for a while now, so I'm sure this ticks all my boxes. And I have seen like the adult version of these two, and I've seen them meet parents, so I'm very interested to see like what their origin story is. Now I feel like, let me actually just do Rena verse family tree. Okay. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, so I was debating, but okay, no. So Aiden King and Elsa are Eli's parents. Oh, and Creighton's parents. Okay, yeah. All right, very excited. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, I don't know what this song is called, but I believe like it has to be before 1995, right? I think so. Yes, Leo Sayer, When I Need You. Okay, so I could have guessed When I Need You, but I didn't know the singer. So I'm doing well so far. When I Need You by Leo Slayer. When I need you, so I went for these lyrics. When I need you, I just close my eyes and you're right here by my side, keeping me warm night and day. So the book I chose for it is kind of brutal. So I went for When the Marquess Falls by Lorraine Heath. So basically this is the prequel novella of the Marquess of Marsden, basically like the Mad Marquess. So this is basically the 3.5 book in the Hellions of Havisham, and that series follows three boys whose parents died and they were taken in by the Mad Marquess, and he basically took care of them and raised them, but he was kind of always being haunted by his wife who died. And you know, basically I interpreted the lyrics of him being warmed by her ghost basically, and this is basically how they met. So I'm sure this book will break me, I'm sure I will be heartbroken, but I just really, I want to finish the series in July, and I will have to read it. And I felt like that lyric encompassed this book perfectly. Okay, what is the singer called? Let me think. Okay, so she's Dutch. Oh my God. Okay. So it's Anouk, Hey Michelle. And it is for sure between 1995 and 2013. I believe it's like early 2000s. So let's see. Anouk Michelle. Okay, so I said Hey Michelle, so that doesn't count. Okay, anyway. I was right about the date though. For Michelle by Anouk, there's a lot of lyrics I could have used, so I'm just gonna read to you some of them. This is a really beautiful song, by the way. It's in English, so I would recommend you listen to it. Okay, so, hey Michelle, how's life? Are you okay? I wonder if you ever think of me. It's been 9 years since that kiss. I can't help but reminisce. Hey Michelle, do you remember? You are my first and worst love, and so it only could go wrong, but ain't that just the way you learn? We walk the street to the beat, hand in hand, you and me, smiling faces so in love, hoping that they all could see that we belong together, you and me against the world. But we found out the hard way, because it wasn't meant to be. Now it's you and her I see. It was just a silly dream. So these don't perfectly fit, but I wanted a second chance romance, preferably a second chance romance that was already on my TBR, and I went for Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. So I really want to finish this series, and this is basically, it's a second chance romance. You follow Jasmine and Josiah, and they had a very long marriage that resulted in two basically teenage kids. They also have a business together, they have a restaurant together, but they divorced because it just didn't work. It wasn't working. And I believe, if I remember correctly, right around the time when he starts dating other people is when she realizes, I still have feelings and I really want to see if maybe we can get a second chance, basically. And I just heard amazing things about this first book. So I read the sequel, I read the second book, that it wasn't really my favorite, but I've heard from a lot of people that this one is basically their favorite in the series. And recently the third book came out, so I really want to just read this one and read the third book and finish this series. I do know Kennedy Ryan has a beautiful writing style, and yeah, this is very much a second chance romance. So of course in the song, it's, you know, the people she's talking about, like the main characters in the song, don't actually end up together, whereas of course in romances, second chance romances, they do. So very excited to read this one. So hopefully last. Okay, this is 50 Cent, In the Club, or It's Your Birthday. Oh my god, you know, I just realized that. Anyway, so I think it's here. I believe it's also early 2000. Is it In the Club or is it Birthday? I don't think it's Birthday. Yeah, I think In the Club, 50 Cent. Yes! Oh my god, I got another one of these, which means I now have four of these coins, which means we'll see. There's a good probability that I can just remove books from my TBR and still finish my July TBR. So I have 5 cards, and I think that is okay. And the last for the TBR game is In the Club. And I was debating, I was thinking, okay, so what actually could fit these lyrics? And then I just wanted to applaud myself because I came up with a genius move. So basically In the Club, I was like, wait a minute, that could be a spicy club. And at one point he sings, I'm into having sex, I ain't into making love. So I felt like, you know what? Let's just do a spicy club. And I went for the next book in the Salacious Player series that I only read the first book. So I went for Eyes on Me by Sarah Kate. And this is even more interesting because this is also a cam girl romance and also a stepbrother romance, step-sibling romance. So I felt like this is really everything that I could want. So basically he is a voyeur, which means he likes to watch. So I felt like, you know, spicy club, he likes to watch. I mean, this is just like, I just wanted to applaud myself for the genius of picking this book. So I forget his name. It doesn't say in the synopsis, but he's one of the 4 owners of the Salacious Players Club. And one day he stumbles upon this cam girl and he realizes that that's his stepsister. And he starts you know, watching her, but they can't stand each other. She has no idea that he's watching and he's hooked, basically. Eyes on Me makes sense. And I read Praise and I really enjoyed it, but I always had a feeling that other books in this series were going to be my favorite. So very excited to read that one. So now for the 2 books that are my most anticipated releases that I really wanted to get to. I couldn't really fit them in when it came to the other TBR. So the first one is, of course, Rose in Chains by Julie Soto. So this is basically Dramione fanfiction. The original fanfiction was called The Auction. These Dramione fanfictions are starting to get published now. So basically, the war is over, the dark forces have won, and the hero who was supposed to save them is dead. She's captured. Her name is Bryony Rosewood. Basically, the Eversons, who are the enemy. Oh no, that's not true. Okay. The dark forces of Beaumard have won, and her people, the Eversons, face imminent servitude, imprisonment, or death, and her brother has died. So, stripped of her magic and her freedom, Bryony and the other survivors are quickly auctioned off to the highest bidder in the auction, and she's sold to none other than Tovin, a high-ranking Beaumard son, and her long-time and ill-fated infatuation. So this is basically a slave-master dynamic. So that's basically the biggest trigger, I'm pretty sure. This is the first book in the trilogy. I'm very excited to read it. And yeah, I cannot wait. I will be reading this as soon as it's in my hand. And I feel like, I'm pretty sure I ordered both versions, like the US version and the UK version. I think both covers are beautiful. And last but most certainly not least is another Draymini fanfiction. It's The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy by Bridget Knightley. And this, I feel like, also really, this is also like a STEM novel. So I'm pretty sure like it is comped to Ali Hazelwood. So this is a slow burn enemies to lovers romantasy duology featuring a scholarly healer and a gentleman assassin. Osric, a member of an order of assassins, is in dire need of healing. And the only healer who can help is Orion, a scientist and bastion of moral good and a member of an enemy order. Now they have to work together to heal his illness and investigate the mysterious reoccurrence of a deadly pox. They find themselves ardently denying their attraction, which only fuels the heat between them. So this is an enemies to lovers, hyper-competent idiot. He falls first and harder, and a slow burn, which this sounds so good. I have not read both of these fan fictions. I've only read Manacled, actually. But these were always on my list, so I'm going to be reading the traditionally published versions of them now. Cannot wait. So basically, these are all the books I'm planning on reading in July. I actually have a lot more books to read, but, you know, not to set myself up for failure here. I'm just going to leave it at that. I would really love to know if you've read any of these books and what your thoughts were. Also, I'd really love to know what is on your July TBR. And if you want to say that you are here, but you don't want to leave me anything, since I'm going on vacation to this like tropical place, leave me a like island emoji or a palm tree emoji or something like that. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely let me know by leaving a like if you did. And thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.